Let's go. Jordan Oasis, prospect in the heavyweight division of Power Slap, taking on Jonathan Correa, Power Slap number 18, March 6th in Las Vegas. You get another opportunity to build on your legacy. And in a lot of ways, take care of some of the demons of the past and people that you want to stick it to. You're creating your own path, your own lane here in Power Slap, and you definitely have a bright future ahead of you. Talk to me about how important this match is for you and the momentum that you're building around yourself to potentially propel you from the bottom of the ranks up into the top of the ranks and be in that conversation with some of the OGs.
Well, as you know, I mean, the last time, I kind of came in with a chip on my shoulder. I was fresh off my release from WWE, and thankfully, I had Power Slap to look forward to. So this time around it's a bit different. You know what I mean? Now it's okay. I have that one slap knockout. You know what I mean? Didn't have to get slapped, but now there's questions. Okay, can he take a slap? I had people arguing in the comments. Okay, well he lifted his heel, and all these other people who really want to micro kind of just helicopter over every little thing. But now this is okay, well, cool, now I'll just shut those people up too, and go 2-0, and I got my sights set pretty high. I set my goals pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, you're striking first, so we may not see you get hit again. Is it any different in Power Slap? Do you feel like you get the same hate in wrestling as you do in Power Slap, or is it different?
Having this one fight, I haven't been exposed to too much yet. And now this time, me being on the live prelims, rather than, tapes and stuff, it might be a little different. I've been wrestling for 11, going on 11 years now, in April, and I've been exposed to a lot of different hate and criticisms and things like that. So I'm used to it, and I'm sure the people that love Power Slap and love this kind of sport, they're gonna have their critics too, and want to, put the magnifying glass on things, but it's not going to change anything for me.
For sure. I mean, you've performed in front of big crowds, live audiences, pay-per-views. In some ways, I get why they put, new strikers on the tape fight, but in some ways it could be a disadvantage for the wrestlers coming into it. And I'm not making any excuses, but now you get that live audience on the main card. You're going to be able to feel and fuel off the energy. Is that going to kind of replace some of that emotion that you had being cut from the WWE, and now are you going to be able to transfer that energy from the crowd to kind of help replace that void in you?
I'm gonna say yes and no. Professional wrestling is incredible. Power Slap, UFC, things like these. The audiences are always in a roar. They're always crazy. They're always expressing themselves, right? So I'm used to that. I can tell you, the last time I was at Power Slap, I had people in the crowd that were there that I didn't even know my friends had showed up until after the show when I saw them. So being in there with that energy, I still carry chips on my shoulder. I think it's something that helps me. But now where it's kind of fucked up, because now you put me in an environment where the arena's packed and I do have that energy, and whether people are booing me, I don't give a shit, because now I'm going to prove you wrong. And now if you have people cheering me, all the more. And I'm gonna use that passion and that fire and that love that they have for me and put it across somebody's face.
For sure. I mean, the sport evolves. Jonathan Correa hasn't fought in over 2 years. He's got a 1-1 record. He's faced Delvin Helmet last time up, and Logan Greenhall, both competitors now in the light heavyweight division. How much can you take from his past tape? Or do you think you just got to focus on you and not really worry about that? Because 2 years in this sport is like 10 with how fast the sport's evolving.
Yeah, I found out who my opponent was when I signed that contract, and I looked him up, and I saw his fights and stuff. But again, this is I don't like to underestimate anybody in Power Slap, because one hit in the right spot, you're done for. You know what I mean? This is a guy who's been gone for 2 years. I tried to look him up on social media. I couldn't really find much. So who knows? Maybe he's done a complete 180. Maybe he's got jacked. Maybe he's been working on stuff for 2 years and has just been hoping he's been getting a call. Maybe now he has a chip on his shoulder, And coming from me, who had the hugest chip on his shoulder, in October and still kind of has a chip on his shoulder and something to prove, I know a guy like that can be very dangerous. So, like I said, don't want to underestimate anybody, but as for me, I feel confident in myself and my abilities. So I am focusing on myself.
For sure. I mean, you have to believe in yourself or else nobody else will. In your wrestling career, I'm sure you ascended the ladder. In a lot of ways, Power Slap, you're starting back over again. As you talked about, step one, taped. Now, live event. Do you relish that climb in a career and kind of starting over? Like, does that motivate you in itself that you want to be able to ascend to the same level as wrestling, even higher than wrestling, etc.?
Yes, it's super motivating. I think for especially since Power Slap is new and exciting, right? Starting over in a different field like that doesn't that it's exciting. It gives me hunger. It gives me drive. It gives me something to want to chase and attain. And with wrestling, you know, after being cut, after you kind of have to reevaluate things. And there was a struggle. Where's that passion? Is that passion dying? Is it how do I fall back in love with this thing again? How do I get that feeling back? And going through personal challenges during the fall and the winter times, which were really hard for me. um you combine that with the wrestling thing, and it makes you question yourself. It makes you doubt wrestling and things like that. But having Power Slap there and seeing this as a fresh opportunity, as a new start, and being able to now incorporate Power Slap into the professional wrestling world. I had the opportunity to compete on AEW, and doing that, I went for a Power Slap. It didn't work out for me. The guy ducked because he doesn't have to stay in there and take it like in Power Slap. So he ducked and popped me in the mouth. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And so it's exciting.
That's funny. Was that something you had to get cleared from AEW, or was that just something that you just did yourself kind of rogue?
No, I didn't have to get that clear at all. I didn't have to get that clear at all. It was just something, Orange Cassidy is a phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal person, an awesome character. So is Tony Storm. So to be able to work with those two individuals, and especially in an intergender tag team match, which is always cool to do, to wind up for that slap and make it entertaining. I was just hoping to bring, hopefully some more eyes to AEW, but also some eyes from AEW over to Power Slap as well.
For sure. Well, what happened if you didn't move? Like, were you swinging hard enough that you would have clocked him very, very similar to your last opponent?
I mean, if you look at it, I was going for it, brother. I was going for it. So he's lucky he ducked in time.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's definitely interesting. I love the integration of the storyline and everything, and how it can bring your personality and your chapter, obviously, over to, that audience and everything. And, normally we've seen it. Other wrestlers have tried it with a successful delivery. So I appreciate you bringing into, we'll say the less successful aspect to it, and still having fun with it. Come March 6th, what does a perfect day at the office look like for you?
I mean, a perfect day at the office looks like what I did in October. It looks like me going in there looking like Pete Kurt Angle with my mouth guard in, and just intensity, just radiating off of me enough to fill the whole arena. I walk up there, I do my thing. I remember my whys, which are people and things. I remember my whys. I don't see anybody, and I knock somebody out first slap. I knock Jonathan out first slap, and everybody saw in October that I'm very much so capable of that. And when I do it again and I become 2-0, then we'll worry about the next thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say you have to make it twice. What do they say? Do it twice to make it true or make it real. You get that opportunity. You're striking first. I want you to cut me a promo and tell Jonathan what you're going to do to him come fight night.
Oh, you want me to cut a promo?
I do.
You asked the professional wrestler. Okay, cool. So March 6th, Jonathan, you're not facing the Global Nomad. That may be a moniker of mine. That may have proved why I am the Global Nomad. You're not facing, I'm not going to use my legal name. You guys don't get that from me. You're facing Jordan Oasis, the guy who lost everything and not only wants to get it back, he wants more. And the only thing that's more dangerous than a guy who has nothing to lose is a guy who knows what it's like to lose it all and wants to get it back and never wants to lose it again. So, Jonathan, I hoped you watched the one fight that I've had and your jaw's real good and you've been training your neck because you saw damn well what my potential is, and I'm going to do it again.
Awesome, Jordan. Pleasure as always. I appreciate you. I actually don't know how to pigeonhole you in some ways in the moniker in my mind. I feel like, you're incredible prospect with the WWE, a guy that I don't want to say he didn't get a fair shake, but I'll say the potential didn't fully evolve. I feel like you come over here to Power Slap and you're kind of in that same point, but obviously it's fresher, it's newer, and you're ascending through. It's almost like a second chance at life, and I think you've got an opportunity to excel to heights never seen before. And I mean, I don't know you that well. We've done this 2 or 3 times, and I met you in person, once or twice. So, very, very intriguing. The prospect that you are, I think you bring a very unique dynamic to the heavyweight division that isn't there, and a division that's incredibly deep, incredibly challenging. You're coming into a division that's deeper than any other division right now, and one that I very much look forward to seeing the chapter in your career, obviously here in Power Slap, unfold, and how you're able to do it as a 2-sport athlete, and ultimately where you decide to end up and go and create your legacy. So from Slap News, you always have a home here. Much love, much respect, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you so much, Corey. I appreciate you.